Welcome back to the Next Human Lab podcast. I'm Simon. Before we begin today, I want to say something that's been on my mind lately. We often talk about growth, awareness, and connection. But what's been really meaningful is seeing how many of you are actually applying these conversations. Not perfectly, not all at once, but in small, real ways. Trying to listen a little better, trying to pause before reacting, trying to understand instead of assuming. And that effort matters because change doesn't happen in big moments. It happens in those quiet decisions that no one else sees. So if you've been making those efforts, even imperfectly, this is your reminder that it counts. And if this series has been helpful to you, a simple like or sharing it with someone you care about helps these conversations reach people who might need it too. Now, today we're talking about something that almost everyone has experienced. Miscommunication. Not the obvious kind, not arguments, not big conflicts, but the subtle kind, where both people meant well, but something still went wrong. You say something and it's taken differently than you intended. Someone responds and it feels off, even though they didn't mean harm. And suddenly there's tension, confusion, distance, and you're left wondering, how did this even happen? And Luna's here with me. Have you noticed how often this kind of thing happens?
Yeah, and what makes it even harder is, it's not always clear where things went wrong. There's no obvious mistake. No one said something clearly hurtful, but somehow, the conversation still feels misaligned. And sometimes you replay it in your head, trying to figure out, did I say something wrong? Or did they misunderstand me? And you don't always get an answer.
Exactly. And that's why miscommunication is so frustrating, because it doesn't always come from bad intentions. In fact, it often comes from good intentions that don't land the way we expect. So today, we're going to break this down. Not just what miscommunication is, but why it happens and how to move through it without damaging connection. In the last episode, we talked about understanding people beyond words, listening not just to what is said, but what is felt underneath. And that's where connection begins. But even with that awareness, something still happens. Miscommunication.
Which shows that understanding is not just about listening. It's also about how things are expressed and interpreted.
Exactly. So today, we're going one layer deeper into the space between what is said and what is received. Because that space is where miscommunication lives. Let's start with a simple truth. Communication is not defined by your intention. It's defined by how it is received.
So even if you meant something positively, it can still be interpreted differently?
Exactly. You might say something casually, but the other person hears it through their emotions, their past experiences, their current state. And suddenly, the meaning changes. No one hears you exactly as you are. They hear you through themselves.
So two people can hear the same sentence and understand it completely differently?
Exactly. Because each person brings their own beliefs, memories, sensitivities. So what feels neutral to you might feel heavy to someone else. Here's something subtle but powerful. The same words can feel completely different depending on emotional state.
So if someone is already stressed or overwhelmed, they might hear things more negatively?
Exactly. If someone is calm, they interpret with openness. If someone is tense, they interpret with defensiveness. So sometimes miscommunication is not about the words at all. It's about timing. Another common pattern, we assume the other person understood us. We say something, they nod, we move on.
But nodding doesn't always mean they actually got it.
Exactly. And because we don't check, small misunderstandings turn into bigger ones later. Here's a deeper layer. Sometimes miscommunication is not about what is said. It's about what is not said.
Like holding back how you really feel?
Exactly. You say something neutral, but underneath, there's frustration. And the other person feels that even if they can't explain it, and that creates tension. Let's bring this into something real. Imagine you say, "You've been busy lately." To you, it's just an observation. But the other person hears, "You're not making time for me." Same words, different meanings.
And that's where things start to shift, even if no one says it directly.
Exactly. Now imagine this builds over time. Small moments, slight misunderstandings, unspoken feelings, and eventually it turns into distance. Not because of one big issue, but many small ones. There's also something happening internally. When people feel misunderstood, they don't always express it. They withdraw, they speak less, they protect themselves. And that protection creates disconnection. Let's talk about what we can do. First, clarify instead of assuming. Ask, "What did you mean when you said that?" Instead of assuming meaning, seek clarity. Second, reflect back what you heard. For example, "So what I'm hearing is, this ensures alignment." Third, express what you feel clearly. Instead of saying, "You always," say, "I felt when that happened." This reduces defensiveness. So today, miscommunication doesn't happen because people don't care. It happens because meaning gets lost between intention and interpretation. Here's something to reflect on. Do I assume people understand me, or do I make it clear? In the next episode, we're going to explore something that shapes every relationship: the balance between giving and receiving.
I think what stayed with me is realizing that miscommunication is not failure. It's something we can understand and work through.
Exactly. When you stop assuming and start clarifying, connection becomes stronger, not weaker. We'll see you in the next episode.